All right, guys, so it's review time again. And like always, welcome to the channel. Now, what I will say before we hop into this video and the intro is that for you guys that want to skip to a particular part, I do have that in the description below, the timestamp. So there you go. Thank me later. Anyway, the Galaxy Bud 2 Pros. Now, originally, I wasn't going to buy these because of the price tag you see right here, but I did get them through T-Mobile, through my carrier plan. So I'm paying like, I don't know, $2-3 a month or so for them every single month. And, you know, I gave my wife my iPhone 14 Pro Max, so I'm back to using an Android device. So I figured, why not? I needed high-end headphones. So, like I said, you can find these for $229, occasionally on sale for $179. And let's actually see if they're better than last year's model or the year previous than that, because there are quite a few buds. We got the Pros, we have the Buds 2, we have a lot of different models out there. So anyway, let's hop right into this review. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and unbox it for you guys that love unboxings. Like I said, this is already out of the case. So what I will say is that the Galaxy Buds case this time around feels like this felt type material where it's easy to grip. It does feel slightly slippery, but on the flip side, it actually is easy to hold into the hand. I know with the Buds 2, I had an issue where it just felt really slippery and I ended up buying a case. This will probably not be as scratch proof as the first one. Well, the first one actually got nicked very easily. Over time, this one will also. But there's a Samsung indent, as you can see, and they do make cases for this. So I believe the cases, since they came out with the, I forget which model it is, the Buds Live, there we go. Since they came out with the Live, I believe all of these headphones had the same physical size case. And I know the Live, the Buds 2, the Buds Pro, I had them all. They all can fit the same exact cases. So if you pop the case off and put it onto a different one, it should fit. I would assume the same thing with this year's model too. So there you go. Also for you guys, I will do another video actually comparing these to another headset so you can figure out if they're ideal. Right now, this is just me spitballing, talking to you about my experience. Doesn't mean you should purchase them. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. So as soon as you pop them open, as you can see, the first thing that popped into my head was looking at these, that these buds, don't mind the grease, that's my ear grease, that these buds weren't going to fit that well. And actually, they're surprisingly very comfortable. They learned a mistake that they made with the Galaxy Buds Pros, which caused ear aches and little bumps inside of your ear. I know some people say, no, your ears are dirty. No, they literally caused air swelling inside of your ear canal. The original Galaxy Buds Pros is one of the reasons why I condemned them in some of my videos, saying don't purchase them, because I don't know if Samsung knew that problem, but it was a situation where, you know, they still kept selling them for regular price. So that's that. Love them. Wireless charging. You have your C cable in the back. Nothing really changes in terms of how the buds actually look. So I'm just going to put them over here so we can see what comes inside the case. Now, of course, you do get a USB-C. Does this come out? No, it looks like it's in there. Okay, so originally before this came out, so it looks like this right here is the USB-C cable. Let me see, was it the USB-C to USB-C, or is it USB-A to USB-C? Let me double check. Yeah, it's USB-C to USB-C, so there's that. So if you have the fast charging tip, it'll work just fine. If you have a laptop that can handle, that can hold a USB-C cable in the back, you have no issues either. Remember, a lot of people don't have that. And you do have your extra rubber tips right here. No need to even open that up. There is one more thing that we need to talk about in design before we jump forward to the next section, and that is going to be, I know AirPods did this, and I believe the Galaxy Buds originally did this, the scammy, nasty, scammy ways when companies do this, and I hate it, and they rectified this right here. So when you take this off, and I could be wrong, but I know Apple did it, because they're scammers anyway. Samsung tried to follow, you know, Samsung rides Apple's coattails on everything that they do, and right here, see this? Before, it was like a specialized groove. I believe it was the Buds Pros, where you need a particular rubber tip that you had to order from Samsung or Amazon to fit. They went back to the original tip where you can just use the kind that you want. Let me try to pop it on. I'm looking at the camera while I do this. Let me look at the headset instead. It's a little difficult. Oh, this is a pain. I'm going to put it back on for you guys. Let me do that. There we go. So you could just pop this back on. Come on. There you go. And then so you can use the different type of air tips that you have if you like your own. So with that being said, that's pretty cool. Now, in the unboxing, let's not waste any time. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the tech specs for you guys, and then we will go through obviously other things. So far, with ANC on, you're getting 5 hours of battery life and a total of 18 inside the case. Without ANC, you're getting 8 hours of battery life and up to 29 hours total with the case. So it's a huge difference with ANC. Now, some headphones, especially in the last recent years, have the ability to have ANC in one ear, which I find to be very weird and uncomfortable, but they added that feature anyway. Maybe someone asked for it. I personally would have preferred if they had a better messaging system, like Apple has it, where you send messages to somebody and when you're wearing AirPods, it reads who sent it. Samsung does have that feature, but it sounds much more robotic and terrible, and it reads every phone number, even if it's a group chat, simultaneously. It's very annoying. It sounds robotic. It just doesn't sound good at all when they do it. I don't know why they won't work on their software. Music and everything sounds great, which we'll get to that, but I don't know. It's like they're always cutting corners. This is the reason why you're number 2 and you'll never be number 1, Samsung, because you won't do the things that actually make your company flourish. But anyway, it comes in 3 colors. We have purple, well, graphite, white, and boral purple. This is graphite right here, and this is the graphite material, so I do love the material it comes with. For you music lovers out there, 24-bit hi-fi. It has 360 audio with direct multi-channel. ANC, we already talked about that. Voice detect. So if you're having a conversation with someone, it will put it in ambient mode or lower or up the volume, similar to what the Pixel Buds actually did, which they had that for years now, so that's nothing new. Bluetooth 5.3. So if you're using an older Bluetooth, you might have some connectivity issues depending on which device you use, but I haven't had any so far. The only time I did have connectivity issues when I use them with AirPods. With Apple devices. For some reason, Apple devices disconnect headsets, and I don't know why. Maybe it's something with their software. I wouldn't be surprised, but take that as you. It works for some people, put it that way. LE audio. That's not even, I don't even think that's out yet for them. They said later this year, so they launched the product without the full features. And now, of course, a lot of headphones do that where they update things later. It is what it is. And it is IPX7. So it's for the earbuds, and they specify not the case. So if this case gets dipped in water or something happens, your case is done, you're going to have to order a new one. Unfortunately, the earbuds are IPX7, so, splash, water resistant, stuff like that. That's about it for the specs. So with that being said, let's go over into the next section where I'm going to show you how the actual application works with the headset. All right, guys, so the audio that you're hearing right now is in fact the Galaxy Bud 2 Pros. I'm talking to you directly through them through the application. Like always, I am going to do an audio section separately for you guys just because, but we're talking so I can show you the application and how it works and all that fun stuff. So just in case you are wondering, there is a Galaxy app called Galaxy Wearable. You see up top. This allows you to sync your watch and your earbuds. Now you can sync your earbuds without a problem without this application. The problem is that you won't be able to really do anything with the features. So right here we have active noise cancellation. I just turned it on. We have ambient mode, and then we have off. Voice detect, I'm going to show you what that does. When your voice is detected, automatically turn on ambient sound and lower media volume to make conversation easier. So if someone's speaking to you, you're outside, it'll automatically switch it over to ambient mode so you can hear it through the earbuds. It'll lower the volume so you can have a conversation with someone and not take your earbuds out of your ear. So that is a pretty cool feature for those that are into that. Personally, I drown people out for a particular reason, and I don't care what anyone says to me. I'll just pause the music and take your earbud out. But I do understand, depending what situation you're in, riding a bike, you're on a train, different situations, you're at work. Some people have earbuds in while they're at work. You're in a Zoom call, whatever it is. You might need to keep your surroundings clear so you know what's happening, just for your own safety reasons. In addition to that, we have 360 audio. So I turned that on, of course, and there's also something called head tracking. Now, 360 audio, I can explain in the simplest terms, is that it feels like you're in a movie theater in a sense. Obviously, movie sound is better. Well, not necessarily, but it feels like everything is coming around you, like from your back, your sides, diagonally, all of that. Now, you have the option to turn head tracking off or head tracking on. I leave it on because when I turn my head left or right, especially when I'm riding my scooter to work, I turn my head and it will lower the volume on the side that I'm looking. So if I hear people screaming, if I hear a car screeching, anything like that, I'm aware of what's happening around me. Now, of course, not having headphones in while you're riding a scooter is ideal, obviously, but it's a 20-30 minute ride. I need some type of entertainment, so that's how I feel. So let's read it at the bottom. Hear vivid, immersive sound coming from all directions, so you'll feel like you're right in the action when you watch videos or listen to music. Get the best experience, keep your earbuds near your phone. So there you go. So what they mean by keep your earbuds by your phone is that if you walk away, remember, earphones give you about a good 30 feet of connectivity. So if you walk away, they start to disconnect, and you'll hear it make like a simple noise letting you know it's disconnected. So be aware of that. Don't walk too far away from your phone. Now we have earbud settings, which the equalizer is on normal. So for this video, I'm going to leave the equalizer on normal for you guys so you can hear, so I can explain how the music sounds while it's on normal. Earbud fit test, every Samsung Galaxy earbuds have that. Read notifications out loud. Now this is what I mentioned in the beginning of the video, where this allows you to look at all your applications if you wanted to. I'll show you right here, and you can determine which ones read things out loud to you. Now, if you put this on all, I'm going to tell you now, you're going to have a horrible time with these headphones. This is more so for someone that might be visually impaired. They can still see, but they aren't able to actually, I guess, differentiate certain letters and stuff because of their vision, or someone that could just be blind. And it's easier for them to be able to just, if they decide to connect a headset, you can do full commands from the headset itself. It does take some time setting that up, so to each their own. It's a cool feature, but it's very, very annoying, especially if you're listening to music and things like that. You could be on a phone call, for example, get off the phone call, and they'll say messages, 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 and they'll read it to you if you allow it to read it to you, even though you responded to all of that. So Samsung is leaps and bounds behind when it comes to that type of information. Anywho, ambient sound during phone calls. So if you decide to take a phone call, you hear your own voice clearly when you're on the phone. This makes calls more uncomfortable and helps you avoid unintentionally raising your voice. You got to remember, when you're walking down the street, if you're inside certain buildings, you can have both earbuds in and have like noise cancellation on, or even if it's off, it's still a certain amount of suction in your ears that what's the word I'm looking for here, where it still blocks out sound. But by having this on, automatically during the phone call, it'll go into ambient and you'll be able to hear more of what's going around you. So it is a very good feature for you guys that are walking outside with both earphones in your ear. If you have one, you're not going to have that issue. If you have two, you got to worry about safety. In-ear detection for calls. So obviously in-ear detection is when you take the earbud out, it disconnects. When you put it back in, it's aware that it's inside of an ear. So be aware that if you turn that on and you take your earbuds off, it's going to disconnect from the Bluetooth, and you're probably going to have to put your phone on speakerphone or something like that. Seamless earbud connectivity. I always leave this on all the time. It actually helps with pairing, makes it much easier. It connects much faster. Sometimes it could connect to, it's not going to connect to other phones, but if you have other Samsung devices, it might try to, pop up as a new device. It's kind of annoying at times, but it's nothing where you'll say, oh, this happens every day. No, you're fine. Plus, if you ever had a Samsung device, this is not some new feature that you're going to experience. This is something normal. Neck strap reminder, self-explanatory, but I'm going to read to you guys anyway. If you hunch over your phone or desk and the head tends to lean forward, which can cause back and neck issues over time, your earbuds can detect your head position and notify you when you've been over for over 10 minutes. So if you're sitting there, let's say you're a student, let's say you're studying for a test, let's say you're doing anything that you're hunched over, remember, being hunched over will cause health issues over time. You may not notice it, but it does cause aches and sore pains. These headphones will let you know, like, hey, you're doing this. Similar to like how the watches say it's time to get up, the headset will let you know after a certain amount of time, like, listen, you've been in this position for a while. Now, it's not perfect. I have tried it, but for the most part, it does work. What I will say is Samsung is adding some cool features to the headset, but unfortunately, they're not addressing the things that we actually need, and that's very unfortunate. Let's see, labs, double tap, gaming mode. Gaming mode gives you a better immersive experience where when you're shooting guns, doing explosions, things like that, that is no lag in between. So I leave gaming mode off. The only thing I play is Call of Duty and Diablo Immortal on my phone lately. I stopped playing Xbox Game Pass because its fast charging isn't that great on a phone that I have. So that's about it. But very simple, very simplistic features. Nothing much more to talk about. You have your software updates and your accessibility features. You also have the, I don't know why this went over here. Nope, shut up. We're not doing that. I do not need my application blocked, my video, when I go to other things. So very simple things. Obviously, you do have the ability to actually change what the earbuds do in terms of touch controls, like right here, double taps, triple taps, touch to hold, touch to answer, double tap to hang up, things like that. I'm not going to go into each one because, again, this is something that you don't need a tutorial for this. There's no instructions in the booklet. You have to go to the app to change all of these things. So it's all here. You see it right here. Of course, you have your software updates. Find my earbuds. It'll make a noise. Like it's very cool features that you have on these earbuds. What I will say is that I favor them over AirPods because they work with all Galaxy devices to a certain capacity and iPhone devices. But you know, to each their own. It's all about the comfort that you like. It's all about what you personally prefer. So with that being said, that's this section with the applications right here. I'm just double checking to see if there's any updates. Oh, and what do you know? I actually do have an update on December 22nd. So I will do that a little bit later. But for now, let's go ahead on to the next section. All right, guys, so right here, I already opened up the headset. And as you saw right here a moment ago, oh, that's my little specification list right there, so I wouldn't forget. Right here, normally when you close these headphones, for Samsung devices, you can open it. Oh, it's not even fit in there probably. There we go. All right, so for Samsung devices, normally when you open it up, if it's next to a Samsung phone, depending on how much time you give it or how new the phone is, it'll actually, a notification will pop up and let you know, just like right here, that you're using Galaxy Buds 2s. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now for the rest of you guys, just follow these simple directions. Download the Samsung wearable application, follow the prompts. It will allow you to sync your headset. If you go to Bluetooth settings for non-Samsung devices, guess what? You know what's going to happen? You just go to Bluetooth settings, open up the case, hit search, it will find it, problem solved, you're good to go. So we are going to actually, well, this is how you synced it. I just showed you, but I'm also going to just combine this part of the video with, let's do the fit. So I'm going to go away for a moment, put them in my ears, and then I'm going to show you how they fit and how they look. All right, guys, so in this part of the video, this is how the headset looks inside the ear. Very, very comfortable. So remember when I showed you how it looked in the beginning? You don't even see that section. Now, what I will say is that I do feel a tad bit pressure when I put these in here, and that's primarily because they're on active noise cancellation, ANC. The ANC for this particular device is a little bit stronger than the Galaxy Buds Pros. So for those that don't like that suction feeling, you may not like these headphones. But what I will say is that if we're comparing them to Bose, if we're comparing them to AirPod Pros, if we're comparing them to, hell, the Beats Studio Buds, the ANC on these are laughable compared to those. I cannot stress enough that even though the ANC is good, it's a mild, light ANC. The other ones are much, much stronger, where when you put them in, a lot of the background noise almost disappears on AirPod Pros, where you can just put them in by himself playing no music, and even the train screeching completely disappears. You can't even tell that you're on a track if your eyes were closed. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. If you're talking about ambient noise, it's actually pretty good. With the features that they add, you could definitely tell that they took a note out of the Google Pixel book, where ambient noise rises up and down when volumes are around you, when people are talking, things like that. It'll lower or automatically turn to ambient sound for you if you change those settings like I did a moment ago. But it's not bad. Like, they fit good, they feel good, they have the decent battery life. They are pretty lightweight. What I would say is that I kind of wish they were a tad bit smaller, similar to the Galaxy Buds 2s. You might say, well, they are as small as Galaxy Buds 2s if you compare them in another video. The cut difference, it's a difference in the physical cut. So even though they might be physically the same size or close to it, the cut doesn't quite feel as comfortable as the Galaxy Buds 2s, which if you're looking for maximum comfort, I'm automatically going to tell you guys to get the Buds 2s. They're substantially cheaper at $149. A lot of times they're on sale for $99, $89. These are literally $229, and that's what kind of stopped me from buying them originally, because I was just like, I don't want to just shove that money up front immediately and be disappointed with the product. So like I said, I did get it through T-Mobile. It was more like a impulse buy. I gave my wife my iPhone, which I was loving that thing, honestly. And I went back to Android. She has an S21 FE that I'm currently recording on. And let me tell you something. Screw this phone. I'm going back to Apple soon. But anyway, that's the fit test. As you can see, is in my ears. It's pretty decent looking. I do apologize for the camera quality. I didn't change any of these settings, so it's not even an Ultra HD or nothing. I'm just like, you know what? It's a Samsung device. I don't care that deeply. But anyway, let's go into the next section that you're waiting for, which is music. Just so you guys know, in certain sections where I was talking to you with the earbuds in, I can switch between which phone is connected to the Galaxy S21 FE 5G and is connected to the A20. So I determine which one I want to talk to. So don't think that it's just recording out of one device and I'm faking this video. I know some people do that. That's why I said that. So anyway, right here, we're going to go ahead to the file manager, if I can find it, files, and I'm going to talk, and I'm going to play some music. I'm going to play, let me see, YouTube music. Let's play some YouTube music, something that has more oomph than what I normally do. And I'm going to talk to you about how it sounds in real time. All right, give me a second. Put this in properly. All right, press play. There we go. Not bad. That's the song playing. All right, just so you guys know, the song that I'm playing is actually YouTube branded music that you can use in FL Studio or just YouTube Media. It allows you to use this music for your videos for free if you choose to when you're uploading videos like blogging and different things. Now, what I will say is just keep up with all the terms and conditions, because that might have changed by the time I said this video. Who knows? That's why I started making my own music, because it's getting out of hand, if we're being honest here. But anyway, let me talk to you about the music. So I'm going to pop these back inside the case and just give you a accurate assessment. I don't have to sit here and keep them in my ear, because I've been using them for about, I don't know, 3 weeks or so, roughly. I forget how long. To be honest with you, music sounds very great. Now, when I compare them to the Pros, to the Pro 2s, you do get a better quality of music. I think the connectivity is better, the fit is better. This is 1000% a better upgrade than the Galaxy Buds Pros. Now, if you have the Pros and you've never experienced that ear issue I was talking about, then I don't see a reason to upgrade whatsoever in terms of music. But you know, every year they're going to, or every couple years they're going to come out with something new. This is what companies do. It's not that what you have is bad or old. It's just that they have to keep it up with the Joneses and show face, and it's a competitive market. You know what I mean? So they have to keep doing what they're doing. Now, with that being said, let me talk to you about the actual music factor. Let me put this on dark mode, as a matter of fact, because this is a pain to look at, if we're being honest here. All right, so when I listen to music, number one, the most important thing to me is bass. The bass exists. It's very good. It's similar to the Samsung brand. What I will say is, because of the fit of the earbuds, I did have to change the tips originally. Now, the tips that are on here right now, I put them back on to the original ones for video purpose that they come with, because that's what you guys are going to experience too. On the flip side of that conversation, the bass is okay. It's not the greatest, but it is very, very good. Now, when you put it on bass booster, obviously there's a huge difference. And for you equalizer people out there, like I always say, I use either Samsung Music normally on Samsung devices, which Samsung Music is just a music player, similar to like Apple's a music player, but they have secondary features that allow you to stream music. I use it strictly as a folder player that allows you to have your own music and play it the way you copied it from your computer or download it from online and put it in specific folders. It allows you to do that. Now, if we're talking about, like I said, bass is average. If you up it to bass boost, it's going to sound more so like the bass, what do they call it? Beat Studio Buds. But Beat Studio Buds also have the option to go in and change and boost the bass too. So then it'll outclass the Galaxy Buds in terms of bass. If we're talking about sound, they did up the sound of the earbuds. So with these, you are getting louder sound now. Even if you're outside in inclement weather, different things, wind blowing, you're going to feel the wind blowing in your ears. I'm going to tell you now, there's no headset in the world that can stop that from happening. Wind is wind. There's nothing you can do about it. Though if you put on a hat or something similar, your call quality isn't going to suffer. Now, I did that based on experience. It's the only reason that I know. And I'm talking about 20-degree weather, I'm going a scooter going 20 to 25 miles an hour, which means it feels more like 10 when I'm flying through. I'm listening to music. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to some of my YouTube videos to make sure that it's able to be posted, like edits. I'm talking to my wife on the phone. So I really went through the ringer with this. If we're talking about like quality of sound for everything else, let me tell you how decent these headphones are for you music lovers. I don't know if you ever heard of FL Studio, but I use that to make beats all the time, which I'm starting to make a plethora of them. So I'll say in about a month or so, you're going to notice that my YouTube videos are going to change. The beats are going to change. They might sound less professional. I'm not too sure, but I'm trying to clean them up. And I'm going to use those so I don't have to worry about YouTube guidelines and people trying to steal my ad revenue. And it sounds very, very clear. Like when I decided to use these for FL Studio hooked up to my PC, the moment I plugged in my regular studio buds, like the regular over-the-head headphones, I didn't have to do much editing to the songs because this had the capability of making it sound exactly the way I want it to, where you know how sometimes you do something on a speaker? Like also, I play music loud on a speaker. The reason I do that is because when you're banging music in a car, different things is on a speaker. So what you listen to in your earphones, it's not going to give you the same sound as a headset. And I'm sorry, a regular speaker. And all speakers aren't created equally. So while you may have $1,000 headset to make music, or 200 or 20 or 30 or whatever, the speakers might only be worth $100. The speakers might be only worth $200. It might be a lower end name brand. So you're thinking, oh, this song is trash. The bass is horrible. No, your speakers are trash. That's the problem. But quality of instruments, when I tried violins, when I tested other instruments, claps, 808s, the FL Studio that I downloaded currently has the 808 beats, claps, and drums and different things. It sounds very, very clear. And when I blended the music in, unprofessionally, meaning me using FL Studio, and professionally, meaning me listening to certain songs on purpose, it was beautiful the way these headphones sounds. Like one thing I'll say is that they managed to really capture the essence of how music should be in the headphones. I know it sounds like crazy, like I'm overpraising them, but these are my favorite earbud headphones. Now I know some people are saying Sennheisers, but listen, they're not as comfortable. They're big, they're bulky, they're ugly. A lot of these headphones, the Bose, are big, ugly, trifling headphones that are grossly overpriced. Bose are $299 in certain models. I'm not paying $300 for a headset. It's just not happening. It's not worth the asking price. I know some people would. Big ballers, good for you guys. Some reviewers get it sent to them, but this is a much smaller channel where every product you see is something that I have to pay out of pocket. So it's one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of higher end products. So, you know, eventually if I make it that far, that'll happen. But very excellent sound. I love the way it sounds. I can't go wrong with it. You cannot go wrong with this sound. Now, the only issue I will say is, again, the fit. The fit is not for everybody. So you can watch this video and say, oh, I like what he said. Then you buy the headphones, put them in your ears and say, oh, my ears feel sore. Or, oh, I'm getting a headache because of the size pressing against my eardrums or whatever you want to call it. Each earbud is different for each person. There is no one fit all. Like for some people, the Liberty Note E's, I believe they're called, fit them perfectly. They're lightweight. They did a great balance of just catering to a lot of people in terms of size. Small ears and big ears. Samsung and Apple don't really do that so much. It's just more so you're buying it because you know it's a high quality product. You're buying it because you know that it's good, and that's it. Everything else that comes along with that is just basically, you know, some good, it's some bad. But the music sounds great. I cannot stress that enough. I'm not going to try to explain it anymore because I suck at doing that. But if you're used to last year's model and the previous model, this kicks all their asses in terms of, excuse my language, it demolishes them in terms of sound. Now, they're not bad. Don't get me wrong. Don't just go run to the store when you just got your Buds 2 and buy these. It's not necessary. But you will notice a huge boost in quality of call quality and just quality of sound in general when it comes to listening to music. So with that being said, let's go into our next segue, which is going to be recorded sound. All right, guys, so right here, I have the voice recording segment so you can hear exactly how clear the sound is. Now, what I will say is that I'm sitting in a room where within my apartment, it's a heater right next to me. It's like a little closet that has its own, not heater, but the entire heating system inside the house. That thing is blazing in the background. It's making loud noises. And you can tell how good that this headset does with dealing with outside sounds. Now, obviously going outside is going to sound a bit different. if you're listening to, I mean, not listening, but if you're walking past cars, especially in heavy traffic, it's still going to sound clear. Like, it's going to sound clear enough where when you walk outside, it's almost as if you're still using your phone in your hand. I know headsets have really expanded their quality of sound over the years. Some stick to music, some stick to sound, some do both, which the ones that do both are obviously the headsets that tend to cost a lot more money. AirPods, I'm not going to throw Bose in there because their quality of sound is not that great in terms of call quality for earbuds. Anchor has been doing a better job, Soundcore Anchor, but Samsung, to me, excels in this category a lot. This is something that they worked on since the beginning of their earbuds back in like 2000, I think 17 or 18, whatever it was, and they just gotten better and better with the Live, with the Buds, the Bud 2s, the Buds Pros, and now the Bud Pro 2s. So with that being said, I think this section is enough. You hear it, if you like it, you already know that your calls are going to be crystal clear. In addition to that, remember, if you're doing Zoom calls, if you're hooked up to a phone, if you're doing Discord, different things, the quality of sound isn't going to change. It's going to sound good. So that's something to think about when you think about buying a product. All right, gents, ladies, everyone, the question you've been asking, or the question you wanted to know. Let's just throw this phone in here because I like the picture. This is an old Samsung A20 I use for Bluetooth, so don't mind this piece of junk. So anyway, is this product actually worth purchasing for the $229 price tag? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're a music lover, if you like Samsung products, if you're used to Samsung products, I got the watch over here. I have the phone, the S21 FE 5G. I have the earbuds. Everything works flawlessly with each other. I don't have any disconnectivity issues between the devices. It's a great experience. Now, is it worth $229? If you compare this to the current market of high-end headphones, absolutely yes. Because if you've ever walked into a music store, and I have to be very transparent about this, if you walk into a music store and you look around at microphones and headphones and different things, $229 is laughable in that type of price. When you do podcasting and different things, yeah, you can buy a Blue Yeti and use certain microphones and be fine. But the most higher end people, oh no, their sound sounds like a gift from God. Where, excuse me, where even if you yell into the microphone, you don't hear no breakage, you don't hear your voice spike up for a moment, and no, none of that. These are very good for the price. Now, the cheapest I saw them so far has been $179. I know that when people did like some type of deal with a particular Samsung device, I think they were throwing these in as a throw-in or maybe a watch or whatever it is. That's also a great deal if you're a Samsung user and you want to get it that way. But as a regular consumer, I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you. There are other headphones that you can get that are substantially cheaper. Right now, you can go get the Liberty Ear 3 Pros for like $99 or $89 for Best Buy. They're normally $169. And those have beautiful sound, immaculate sound that rival this easily. The problem is that the name of the company. Now, Samsung obviously has more support on their online support and their app support. You can't walk into like a Samsung store. I don't know if they even exist, to be honest. I think there was like a couple in the mall here or there. It's not like Apple. But what I will say is I do like them. The price is horrible, in my opinion. I personally don't think headphones should cost any more than $149 if we're being honest here. And even that's expensive. But for $229, I believe that was $29 more than last year's model, which was $199, the Pros. No. The Pros came out before the Buds 2, if I'm correct. I forget which one came out first. But the point is that, yes, it is worth it for you guys that are Samsung users, that only use Samsung earbuds, that only prefer that. You're going to get many more updates. You're going to get more features than last year's model. Not that you use all of them, because a lot of people don't, but the quality of sound is different. When I decided to put in some other earbuds and I just compared it to these, it was like I find myself coming back to these. So that's the only reason I say that $229 price is ideal. Normally I would say no, but because I have so many earbuds that cost hundreds of dollars or $80, $90, all the way up to $229, it was a situation where when I started comparing them, yes, some other earbuds have better sound slightly than this, but this had the overall better sound. I always said before that Samsung is a jack of all trades with earbuds. They excel in certain areas, some they lack in, but it's not lacking to the point where you feel like, I don't like these earbuds. You still want to use them. Versus some other earbuds fall short in call quality. Some other earbuds fall short in music quality. Some other earbuds fall short in battery life, connectivity. It's always something with somebody else versus Samsung, where when they release a product, even though they're lacking, like I think that the one thing they need to work on, which I think will escalate their company, is if they, and hopefully Samsung, you see this video. I know y'all motherfuckers, woo, about to catch myself. I'm so used to my other channel that I curse. Let me take it back. Let me breathe. All right, here we are. I know you guys don't care about your customer base, Samsung, but if you implement the feature, steal it directly from Apple if you have to. I don't care. Apple does the same thing to everybody else. Every company does something, bites off another company. That's what competition is about. Take the feature where it will announce the person that's calling based on your call log, and then read the text messages in like a human voice. See, when you use Bixby or anything else, I don't want to say it because it'll probably disconnect this recording. You know what I'm talking about? The assistant. They sound more realistic when you're talking to them regular. But when you try to send messages or receive messages and other things, they tend to sound extremely robotic like they did 10 years ago. The problem is that Apple's system of text messages sounds exactly like how Siri is supposed to sound. If you're receiving messages, if it talks to you about sending messages, if it's asked you to set an alarm clock, if it's asked you to do a Google search, whatever it is, an Apple search, whatever it is, the headset feels like you're talking to a person sometimes until you realize it doesn't understand what you're saying. Samsung, on the other hand, this is exactly how the messages sound. This is my only gripe, really. You have a message from 267-555-8222. Hash dash 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 hashtag 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 dash 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 dash. How are you doing today? LOL 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 LOL. That's how it sounds. Robotic. It's no pauses. It doesn't sound simplistic. It sounds awful to listen to. It sounds like a hazard. And you could tell that they never updated that system since the Galaxy Buds Lives back in the day. And they had years to do that, and they refused to do it. And this is why I say you need competition in headphones, because if Samsung was on top, trust me, they would have cut a lot more corners than they're already doing. They're forced to update their stuff, and they're forced to bring out better and better earbuds on a regular basis because they have to stay in competition. And now that Anchor and other brands are up there, Beats was bought out by Apple, and Apple is selling Beats, and not so much for Apple users, but more so to combat the Samsung users and take away from sales. You have fierce competition. But for some reason, y'all have the nerve to up the price of products, but never actually add the features that make daily life easier. Like with Apple, if your phone is locked, it'll read text messages to you. When it's on, it doesn't. That's a cool feature. That's what you need, especially if you're working in an office, if you're having conversations with other people. It make ease of access better for everyday life, but they refuse to do that. And next year and a year after that, they're still not going to do the same thing, more likely. As long as they're getting sales, these companies do not care about the consumer. That's how I feel about it. But I kind of went on a rant right there. Yes, these are worth $229. If you get them on sale for $179, $149, eventually the sale would drop probably to $149 during other holidays and things. Yes, get them. They're very good. For Samsung users, I 100% suggest these until some issue arises where I have to backtrack what I say. But if we're just talking about call quality, music quality, the case itself, the way it looks is similar to what you're used to, so that's nothing new. It's the same thing, honestly. It's kind of like going from a S21 to a S22. It's not a huge difference. It's not worth an upgrade. It's different if you're going from the base model to a Pro edition, right? But these aren't, I don't suggest it. Like if you have the Buds 2, just keep them. It's not worth it. Wait for the Buds 3. Now, if you broke a pair and you have a deal to get these, then absolutely grab them if that's the case. But if you're talking about just upgrading yourself, or if you want to upgrade yourself and give your old earbuds as a gift, you still got the box to someone else, yeah, knock yourself out, get them. Then it's a worthy upgrade if you're going to use the old earbuds for something. But if you have the multi-point connect and all those things, it kind of beats the purpose. But anyway, I don't rant a rant any longer. Hopefully you guys like this review. Like always, like and subscribe. Apologize for the cursing. I had to. I slipped up twice. So I'll work on that because this is more of a family channel. But anyway, like always, like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video where we talk more tech in general.